Hey everybody, John here. Welcome back to Catbird Hill. So it actually feels like December. It's about 25 degrees out here right now. We've got some rain coming in, I believe tonight into tomorrow. It's going to warm up a little bit as we go into the beginning of this week. Today is the 15th of December. End of the week here, as we get closer to about a week before Christmas, it's going to get cold again, which I like this weather. This is great weather to be outside and doing stuff with chainsaws, right? So I want to talk to you a little bit about what today's video is going to feature. Check this out. So this is the remnant of the silver maple, large silver maple tree, which you actually saw being professionally removed a couple of videos ago. I'll put a link to it at the top of the screen here. There's the remnant of the base of that tree. It was probably about 5.5, almost 6 feet in diameter. And I had the very best intentions when I asked the tree crew to lay the butt ends of that tree down here. And unfortunately, what I didn't realize is that because the tree was already dead when it was taken down, the wood itself probably was not great. My intent was to mill all this up, thinking there'd be some interesting, crotch grain here. But as you can see, it degraded very, very rapidly. We have woodpeckers who are pretty much taking this apart. There might be some decent wood left in here. The butt ends, or excuse me, the cut ends of this are still pretty solid, right here. But it's just not worth the effort to get this on the mill, only to get a little bit of wood out of it. So my plan here is to actually section these up. And I have a friend who, he and his wife have a produce farm. They heat their greenhouses in the wintertime with boiler heat, wood boilers. And I'm going to just give him this wood. So I'm going to cut it up and deliver that to him at the end of this week, because they're going through wood like crazy right now. So this will just be a fun time to run some chainsaws. We're going to start out with the Echo 7310 32-inch bar. And it had a full tank of fuel in it, full tank of oil. Just want to run this through. We might use this for the entire job of sectioning this up. This wood is, kind of punky, as you can see, but there's no guarantee that it doesn't have nails and stuff in it. This was kind of a yard tree. The previous owners had swings hanging from the branches, so I have no idea what kind of stuff might be in here. Kind of have not a super sharp chain, but again, this wood should be fairly soft. It's soft maple. So let's see. Let's just section this log up here and see how it goes. at the end of the day here, well, not really the end of the day yet, but this is probably a good decision to have turned this stuff into firewood for my friend. You might be able to see here, this is just punky. You know, I can push my finger in, and what's hard to tell sometimes is how far into the log that really goes. And this is actually a pretty good example. I'm going to try to angle the camera down here. It looks really solid. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick this up or not. I'll try to set the camera so you can. There's sort of a ring here tracing with my finger where the wood actually appears fairly solid. Now that's probably only about 8 or 9 inches across. Here, the wood actually feels pulpy, and I can dig my fingernail into that and leave an impression there. So although there's still, you know, some decent hard wood here, it probably would not have been worth the effort to put, you know, get this whole thing up on the sawmill. I'd have to take off so much of the log, all this kind of punky wood here, to get to this. It's, at the end of the day, it's probably not worth it. You can see a little bit more clearly here. This is what is referred to as spalting. You've heard me refer to that before when I'm running the sawmill. But this is where the spalting has kind of gone too far. It's still relatively solid here, but up here, this is all kind of punky and soft. Again, you know, this is about the extent of the usable wood here, not really big. So good choice. What I want to do now is section these. These are probably 22 to 24 inches in diameter. I want to just maybe cut them in half or even quarter them so I can load them up easier. So this is why sometimes you need to pull out the big boy chainsaws. So from one side to the other, we have 38 inches. And I've got to be honest with you, I'm really surprised. This is the biggest of the logs. This was actually the butt log that came off of that stump I showed you earlier. Fascinating. You know, you can see kind of how this became a multi-leadered tree. You know, you can see a series of growth rings here and here. So this thing was kind of beginning as a multi-pronged tree. But I'm amazed at how much solid wood is in here. I mean, there's a little bit of punkiness here, maybe 2 to 3 inches along the perimeter, but the bulk of this is rock solid. So yeah, so a lot better looking wood than I would have anticipated. You might be able to see down here that piece as well, you know, pretty solid. Now what happens as we got closer kind of to the butt end where there was some rot, you can see a little more extensive punkiness there. But overall, pretty good. In some ways, I think I probably could have slabbed this particular log up. I would have needed the Alaskan mill to do that. There's no way that I could have lifted this with the tractor and gotten it back there. But as you saw, I had to bring out the mother of all chainsaws, a Stihl 090, and that's the AV, the anti-vibe version, with the extra cross handle there. 137 cc's and a 41-inch bar. And I've had that saw for a while. You can see I've gotten rid of my wool hat and my gloves. I've worked up quite a sweat here doing this. So I've had that saw for probably 10 years. And I bought it as part of a, you know, desire to do some collecting of more interesting and rare chainsaws. And I take it out maybe once every year or two for a few ceremonial cuts. I don't keep the chain super sharp. I make, you know, maybe 3 or 4 cuts with it. It's certainly not as fast as the Echo 7310 that I was using to do the bulk of this, but it's a lot of fun to use. I mean, it has so much torque, and the thing is so doggone heavy. I have no idea how folks used that thing all day long years ago. Maybe they only used it for a few hours to cut big trees, but that thing will wear you out very, very quickly. But one of the advantages to something that's that big and that heavy is that you literally just let it sit on the log and it just cuts its way through. If I had sharpened the chain, you know, properly and really gotten the chain to a good state, what I normally expect to have on my chainsaws, it probably would have been even less and less effort. So just kind of fun to watch that saw in action. And, you know, this is the kind of wood in which it really excels. You know, big stuff like this, 36 inches in diameter. I think this was 38. But so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to section up these remaining pieces here into maneuverable sizes, and then be done with this. I want to show you guys what happened here. Take a look at this tooth. We'll try to get it in focus here. Take a look at this tooth right here. You can almost see how that corner was knocked off. So goes it with yard trees, I guess. Here's another one. This is really, really bad. Take a look at that. That's really, really bad there. I'm going to try to... Yeah, it's almost the whole top angle's gone. Got a little work to do here. Well, not bad for a couple of hours of work. I love running the chainsaws, especially on a job like this. The only thing I don't like is what I had mentioned earlier when I was sharpening. I did hit at least one nail. I wish I could find the section. I just can't find it right now. I have so many of them back there, I lost track of it. But probably a good 10 penny, couple of good 10 penny nails got sliced through and totally butchered the chain. So I took a lot longer on this job, just in between you know, different parts of the cutting process to stop and, you know, go back, and really had to rehab the chain pretty severely. It was an older chain, so I'm not too worried about it, but you know, this kind of wood, it's been laying down, it has dirt in it, you know, and again, you just don't know as a yard tree what kind of things have been nailed into it or screwed into it over the years. Unfortunately, I happened to find a couple of good sized pieces of metal, but that's what you deal with. Overall, a really nice haul of wood here. It's hard to say how much I have cut so far. I got a couple of other pieces, this one here, that have to be sectioned, and then over there. That piece there is just pretty much totally rotted. I'm not even gonna bother giving that to my friend. I'm just gonna put that in the back of the property and let it rot. But this was a pretty good haul. And again, all of this wood, I mean, if you take a look here, these pieces are rock solid. I mean, just, you know, totally fine maple. I did check the moisture content, and most of the pieces are right around 20-22%. So I think once opened up, they're going to dry pretty quickly. You know, again, I mentioned he has a wood boiler. It has a 2-foot wide 2x2 door that he can throw big chunks of wood in there. So honestly, after maybe a few months of drying, this type of wood will work really well for him. He just throws it in there and lets it go. But these last two pieces, I'll probably cut these up in the next day or so. We'll let some rain go through. We're actually supposed to be getting some ice and sleet here in about 15 to 20 minutes, which is why I wanted to stop. Plus, I was just getting kind of tired. I don't like running a chainsaw when I'm tired. So, a lot of fun. Got to bring out an absolutely classic chainsaw, the Stihl 090. You got to see that run. That's a rare event. You know, it's once every year or two that I get that puppy out. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, John here from Catbird Hill. Take care.